Oh, shut up.
You're live now, so.
Am I? Nice. So it's not very often that this happens, but we got a care package. It turns out we are one of the first to receive the ROG Phone II. And when I say there's something a little unusual about this situation, I think I don't have to do much convincing because this is the ROG Phone II. Yeah, it comes in a carry-on size luggage. That is, if you are a reviewer who gets the special package that includes not just the ROG phone, but also every single accessory that is currently available for the ROG phone. So I'm gonna go ahead and crack this puppy open, and we are going to take a look at it. That is after I tell you about this message from our sponsor. Hey Jake, who was the was it iFixit? PIA, Private Internet Access. Check out Private Internet Access at the link in the video description if you want your internet access to be private or something. All right, yeah, iFixit gets a shout out too. Thanks, iFixit. We're not actually gonna take the phone apart, guys. They're just good toolkits. All right, so this is the part of the video where I pretend that I haven't already looked at some of this stuff. So let's go ahead and crack open the ROG Phone II first, which mysteriously is going to have all my accounts logged into it and all my stuff. Oh, that's a little awkward. I guess I had the buttons mashed while it was in there. Okay, so, ooh. Okay, let's just go ahead and we'll just reboot that. That'll be fine. Just fine. Okay, we'll get back to the, you know what? No, we'll talk about the phone for a second here. So, oh crap. Okay, power off. I'll turn it back on in a moment. Wow, we're off to a great start here today. Okay, so what's special about this? The ROG Phone II has actually been covered previously, but this is the final hardware that will be shipping to customers sometime in the next, I don't know, 2 to 3 weeks or something like that. Don't quote me on that because I actually forget. So I'm just going to go ahead and peel my sticker off here. So it actually bears a lot of resemblance to the original ROG phone. On the back, we've got dual cameras. 48 megapixel quad Bayer. I have actually taken some test shots. I can talk to you guys a little bit about my initial impressions. We've got a flash and a second flash, and this is pretty sweet. We've got our RGB illuminated ROG logo on the back. We've got what appears to be a button, but if we look closer, is actually, yes, making a return is that weird dual USB Type-C connector that's going to be used for some of the accessories. We've got, there we go, a dual SIM slot. Now, I am a touch disappointed that we're not getting micro SD expansion, given that this is supposed to be like the phone with all the features. But given that it ships with up to 512 gigs of storage, I guess it becomes a little bit easier to forgive. I mean, personally, once I got past about 128 gigs, I never really got to the point where it mattered for me anymore, but your mileage may vary. Over on the other side, we've got our lock button as well as our volume rocker. I actually quite like this. I appreciated it about the Note 10, and I like it here too, just having buttons on one side of the phone, and particularly on something that is, purports to be a gaming phone, having no buttons along the bottom edge is pretty nice to see. Now up here, we've got the trigger buttons. I think they call them air triggers, if I recall correctly. We're gonna try those out in a little bit. So these are pressure sensitive buttons that are on the top edges. At the bottom, we've got another Type-C offset this time, as well as a 3.5mm jack. And then I think that pretty much does it. Oh, hey, look at that, our logo illuminated. So it's got RGB lighting. You can actually configure it a number of different ways, and that's all done within the Armoury Crate software. Speaking of software, so the first thing that I noticed about the ROG phone is that unlike what ASUS promised me, the software still had this like weird kind of, I don't know, robotics, like super gamery looking theme. Everything from the folders to the background to like, look at this, like even my poor app icons have this like weird ROG swirly thing going on around them. But I was extremely pleased when I realized that what had happened was I was just dumb and I missed the prompt when I was first setting up the phone. You can actually set it to, check this out, they call it classic. You can actually set it to the classic theme, and even though it's like ROG, and most ROG software has that kind of obnoxious skinning and styling on it, even though it's ROG, you can apply what is basically a completely clean stock Android experience to this thing that you guys are probably already noticing is shockingly smooth. Like, even though you guys are watching this at 30 FPS, from my experience, you should still be able to have some of, if not all of, the experience that I'm having right now. This is freaking cool. Curiously, ASUS actually ships this thing running at 60 Hertz by default, but changing it is as simple as going into refresh rate, and then you can pick 60, 90, or 120. So 90 is equal to the OnePlus 7 Pro, and then 120 is equal to the Razer gaming phone. What did they call it? Did they just call it the Razer phone? Razer Phone 2, I think? Yeah, Razer Phone 2. So that's equal to the Razer phone, except not at all, because unlike the Razer Phone 2, this is an OLED panel, which comes with the advantages that OLED has. So I don't think ASUS has given any kind of time frame for when they're planning to ship Android 10 with this thing, but when you get a system-wide dark theme, that means a slight power savings there. And in addition to that, the thing that really stood out when I was swiping around on this thing wasn't even necessarily just the smoothness, but the readability of text while it's moving. Man, those pixel response times are just dead freaking sexy. Now, I said it was a pretty clean Android skin, and it is. It does have some of the configuration options that I do like to see. You can see that I changed my navigation buttons to make this one back instead of having it over on this side. That was really simple. Just trying to see if there's anything else in here that really matters. What you might have noticed is that in the configuration options, there's really nothing about gaming. Like, okay, advanced has some, okay, so there's a few options to configure some tools that are something to do with gaming. You can turn your air triggers on, which is kind of cool, one-hand mode. But it's not really that gamery. So as it turns out, most everything to do with gaming. Okay, the obnoxious styling is definitely there in the Armory crate, but actually I'm gonna pivot for a second. Okay, so most everything to do with gaming is configurable from within like Armory crate. So that's where you can change your, let me see if I can find it. Launch animation, no. Yeah, this is what happens when I do these things without, yeah, click here to act. Yeah, sorry. Oh man, that's so, okay, that's kind of annoying. You have to click this power button in order to get rid of Armory crate. Okay, dang it. Where is the tool where you configure all that stuff? I was so sure it was within Armory crate. I'm still pretty sure it's in there. Let's launch it again. Actually, no, before we do that, I want to talk about the speakers. So I'm just going to go ahead and fire up like one of our videos, because that way I make sure I don't get a copyright strike or anything like that. So let's see, Linus. There should be no shortage of ASUS content that we've done recently. That should make them happy. Oh, I was going to click that. Let's tune into our own stream. Wow. I get the feeling that Wish is probably not going to sponsor our channel or put advertisements on our channel soon, because we have a video coming making a PC that's entirely built from components we bought on wish.com. And let me just say, it's not a good situation. If you guys aren't subscribed already, make sure you're subscribed. You can check that out when it comes out. So let's go ahead and pull up, I don't know, this video. Yeah, running the one that we're doing right now is going to be a mistake. That's going to make for a really bad experience. Jake, you might actually like this. Once it finally loads, give it a second here. The speakers. Oh, really? Yeah, they are outstanding though. If we could ever get a video to actually load. Dang it. Okay, let's go with this one. Back when we installed a petabyte worth of hard drives in our server closet, we were sure that with that much storage, it's really loud. And not just that. Fairness, sorry, I'm trying to talk over basically my own presentation volume of voice coming out of this phone. The really cool thing about it is that until you get to probably about, I'd say 80% volume, there is little to no noticeable distortion. I'm just blown away by the speakers on this thing. And it was especially noticeable coming from the Note 10, which actually got rid of the traditional grill-style speakers that you see here. Not just one, but two of them. Freaking cool. And went to the vibrating screen style of speaker, where it did actually get pretty loud on the Note 10, but it didn't sound good. And you ran into the issue where once you turned it up, the phone like vibrates in your hand. It's a pretty unpleasant experience. Anyway, I kind of promised that a lot of this video was going to be about the accessories. So why don't we go through and have a look at what all comes with this thing. Honestly, most of these are going to look pretty familiar. So I haven't really talked specs, but ROG Phone II takes everything that was good about the specs of the original ROG phone and pretty much turns it up to an 11. So instead of the standard top-of-the-line Snapdragon processor, instead this time we're getting, what do they call it, the 855M or something like that? No, 855 plus, sorry. So what that is effectively it's the same silicon. Like don't imagine that you're getting a completely different processor or anything like that. But the 855 plus is a binned version of the silicon that has a higher maximum turbo frequency. Now that comes with a performance advantage, but it also comes with the disadvantage that it's going to run hotter and it's going to consume a little bit more power. To solve that first problem, the fan makes a return. So remember that little rubber plug that I said I was going to pull out. It's nice that they include this, although it's not nice that this is going to be super easy to lose. They should include like 5 of them. I actually don't understand why more companies don't do that. Like if there's something they know for sure you're going to lose, why not just include a bunch of them if they cost nothing? All right, there we go. Oh, man, this is so hilarious. Like they have given so much thought to lighting on this thing. Oh, really? A firmware update. It's a fan. Are you guys kidding me?
It has RGB.
Oh, you know what? It has a headphone jack.
And RGB.
Well, yeah, it has RGB on it, but I'm not like concerned about that. So get this. I told you guys that it's got 2 flashes on the back. I'm going to get out this other accessory here too. This one I've already taken a look at. So this is their lighting armor case. And it's actually got this like big cutout here for the Republic of Gamers and then the ROG logo here. And I was like, oh, wait a minute, it's a powered case. How exactly does it, where exactly does it get its power? Check this out. So it's using like a light diffuser layer. So one of those plastic layers with kind of a, like a frosted sort of piece of plastic to carry light from that second flash there. So that is an RGB emitter light, and it uses that to light up the logo on the back. The effect works surprisingly well. Oh yeah, another feature I haven't mentioned yet. Under-screen fingerprint sensor, not the fastest that I've seen, but definitely what I would call good enough. So here's what we're looking at in terms of speed. It's fine. It's not like blow you away fast like what OnePlus is doing with the 7 Pro, but it is acceptable. All right, so I think our firmware update's done here. Yep, there you go. So our fan's running. From our experience last time around, even though this is a pretty minor amount of airflow, like it's not even really loud. Like my microphone's right here. You guys can probably barely hear that. It actually did make a noticeable difference to the performance of the phone in games. Not right away, because that's not the problem with mobile processors. The problem is that they thermal throttle over time if you're actually gaming for 10, 15, 20 minutes, half an hour at a time, which is pretty easy to do if you're playing something like, you know, PUBG or Fortnite, where assuming that you make it past the first little while, you could actually be staying alive for half an hour at a time. All right, so we checked out that accessory. We got the fan, we got the headphone jack as well. So this is great because without having anything hanging off the side of the phone where your hands need to sit, you've got your headphone and your USB Type-C taken care of down here at the bottom. I'm going to pull this one off for a second though, so it's just a matter of sliding it open there and sliding it out of the dual USB Type-C. I almost lost this thing already. Now I want to show you guys this thing. So this is like some pretty nerdy stuff. As soon as you move it close, there's an NFC tag inside the case. So it says, lighting armor case detected. Do you want to apply the exclusive theme now? I guess so. Sure, why not? I'm going to turn that off the second the cameras aren't rolling anymore, but I'll leave it on for now. So basically we get a wallpaper. We get a different ugly red ring around things here, and Yeah, I guess I don't really have a whole lot to say about that beyond what I've said already. This is cool though. So can you guys see that okay on camera? Jake, is it that visible? Because if we didn't have filming lights on this, the lighting effect is actually quite vibrant.
Yeah, you can see it.
You can see it? All right, cool. So that can be configured, and I was so sure it was in Armory Crate. So I'm gonna waste a little bit of time here trying to, trying to remember where the profiles are. Oh yeah, they are in here. So you just go into game profiles here, and then you go to touch display performance. No. Dang it, maybe it's not an Armory Crate. Can you look this up for me, Jake? If you can try and figure it out. Oh, is it in the console? Yeah, it's in the console. Cool. So there's games, lobby, and console. I knew it was in here. So in the console, you can see your temperatures, you can see your clock speed, how much memory is being used. So this uses 4 gigs of, I believe it's LP DDR4X memory. It also uses UFS 3.0 storage. So we've got the 512 gig version here. Sorry? Oh, sorry. You can see your GPU temps. You can adjust your fan speed, system lighting. So here we go. So you can use lighting synchronization to actually synchronize with all your nerdy friends who also have ROG phones. No, we're not actually going to do that. We're going to turn that off. You can go into your advanced settings and you can make it dance to music. So we can go ahead and try that out. I'm just going to close this. All right, what should we put on? Oh yeah, I know what we'll do. We'll just put on Supernova. Supernova. Oh. Why are there so many songs called Supernova? There we go. All right, check this out, guys. You enjoying this too?
Oh, yeah.
So as far as I can tell, unless the beat is really strong like we have right now, it might as well just be randomly flashing. I think ASUS could have probably stood to put a little bit more effort into the algorithm here, but I actually wrote this joke that I was going to include in my full review, but I'll waste it now. I figure the kind of people who are into raving out to like the flashing RGB on their phone while they listen to music are probably drunk enough by the point they're doing it unironically that it doesn't really matter how well it syncs up with the music. I think part of the reason it doesn't work very well is probably because as soon as you fire up that feature, it actually prompts you for access to the microphone. So rather than the phone hooking into the audio output on a software level, it's actually just listening to itself, which seems kind of bass-ackwards, but yeah, it's not my problem, I guess. Let's go ahead and fire Armory Crate up again here and have a look. Oh, that stupid animation. There's got to be a way to turn that off. Settings, launch animation. Yes, you can kill it. Thank goodness. So we have done that now. So also in here, you can adjust the force of your button tap on the air triggers. Trigger successive air trigger functions without fingers leaving the touch area. That's pretty cool. You can allow your fingers to rest on them. I'm going to play with these more in time. Like I've mostly just set up the phone for now. I just wanted to show you guys kind of the basics because a lot of this software level exploration I'm not really going to be able to do in a review that's going to be more focused on performance and stuff like that. One of the easiest ways to turn on RGB on the phone, I think it goes on by default when you have the case on. Don't quote me on that. Whoa! All good. Is to go into X mode. Oh no, it's on because I have X mode enabled. So it took me a little while to figure out how to turn the RGB on because you could do that RGB group thing and you could create a group and then you could just manually set RGB. So you could do color cycling, breathing, static, whatever the case may be. But like I don't want to have this weird group that people could connect to all the time, and so I was a little confused. So it turns out there's just a button in the notification shade here. So you just enable X mode. And then, oh wow, it changes your, oh wow, that's so cheesy. It changes your background too, for crying out loud, you guys. I mean, it's kind of cool, I guess, if you're into that sort of thing, but there you go, it also enables the RGB. So when it doesn't have the case on, that turns off, and when it does, or when it, yeah, and it just RGBs up this logo right here. Can you see that pretty well? It's actually reasonably bright. I'm kind of into it. I would probably just have X mode on all the time. And I think I might even get away with that as a fairly light user because this thing has a 6,000 milliamp hour battery. Like this is a thick, thick phone. You can see that. So that's a Note 9 for comparison there. It is thicker than a Note 9. It is taller than a Note 9 by a considerable margin, and it's even wider than a Galaxy Note 9. Let's go ahead and just throw them on the table here. Not by that much when it comes to the width, which is good because one-handed operation of a Note series phone is already a bit of a challenge. And this thing, especially given that it's thicker, is worse. And then you go ahead and throw this case on, which has those extra layers for the light disbursement. And it, like, honestly, the first thing I thought of when I held it with the case on for the first time was like, especially because it has like kind of a leathery finish. You guys probably can't see that on camera, but it's got like this leathery finish. I was like, this feels like holding my neighbor's cell phone back when cellular mobile phones were a new thing, and having those like leather cases for them with the little flip down microphone piece existed. It's pretty brutal with the case. All right, we're not going to take up too much more time because, as regular watchers of our channel know, our weekly podcast is supposed to have started already. So let's go ahead and have a look at some of the accessories here before we go ahead and switch over to that. Oh, all right. Nick wants me to do a merch call out. Yes, you're right, Nick. I should do that. Stealth Hoodie is back in stock. It's actually sitting in the port in customs right now, but it's going to be back in our warehouse sometime in the next approximately 3 to 4 days. So what we're telling people on the site is that they are shipping again as of next week, so you can go ahead and place an order. Stealth Hoodie has been one of our most popular items. We reordered a couple thousand of them this time, and we're hoping to keep them in stock a little bit longer than last time. But yeah, lttstore.com, there you go. All right, so another accessory that's back, and this one was really cool last time around, and I'm expecting it to be a little more refined this time around, because there's a difference between cool and legitimately very useful, is the Twin View Dock 2. I will say right out of the gate that the materials don't necessarily feel as premium as last time. Now, I could be remembering wrong. In fact, I kind of hope I'm remembering wrong, but this thing seems kind of really different. It feels like the last one was intended to be handheld, and maybe that's why I'm getting a little bit confused here, because this one is clearly not. This is like, look at it. It's got rubberized feet on the bottom of the thing. So there's a cooling fan here. There's your headphone jack there. I guess charging is just handled via at the back here. And then, wow, that is something else. All right, let's go ahead and put this in. So we'll slot it in a little something like that. And then do we just, oh no, wow. Okay, so we gotta pick that thing up there. Bloop. Attach the dock. Use the phone to push the spring retaining wall to the back, then, oh, okay, so I did it the opposite way. There's your problem. I gotta lock the dock. Okay. Attach the dock, fasten the latch. Yeah, I did that. Oh, bloody hell, firmware update. That's fine. We'll just open up some other stuff while we wait around for RGB lighting, of course. Thank you, ASUS. Got the basics taken care of, you know. I will say it comes with actually a pretty nice carrying case this time around. Although, yeah, the functionality is very different. Like last time, it really seemed more like you're supposed to use the bottom for control and the top one to play your game. We actually played around with it. We got both of them working. If you guys are bored after you're done watching this video, you can go watch our video of the original ROG phone. But now it's like, it feels like it's supposed to kind of sit there, I guess. So by default, it pulls up a list of all your apps up here. And I don't know, maybe we could find like a game or something. See, this is weird behavior because it puts my keyboard up here. Like I would think my controls are supposed to be, what just happened? PUBG, search. Oh, no, I have this installed, okay. Did that just change color? Is that a loading? Like, is that a drive indicator LED now? Interesting. Haven't actually launched PUBG on it yet. So you have to give it a sec. Checking for updates. Okay, I just installed this today. How is there an 11 meg update? Whatever. Okay, open the game. This is really not bad in terms of responsiveness though, actually. Like that is a pretty heavy app load. This is the first time I've loaded it and it's like fairly snappy right there. I'm liking it. Yes, both screens appear to be OLED. I haven't actually checked, but as far as I can tell, this looks like they have pretty much repurposed the entire display assembly from this one. So the speaker grills are just covered by this plastic piece here, and then it's actually even got the same accent pieces, and it still has cutouts for sensors and stuff. So there's like a kind of little faded cutout you can see here for the, here for the camera lens. You guys, I don't think are going to be able to see that. And also I spoke too soon on the whole loading time being really fast, obviously. So yeah, I am 99.9% certain that this is at the exact same screen, but by the time I do my review, I'll have confirmed stuff like that. Okay, I have read and agreed to the whatever. Okay. More. Oh, yeah, let's just sign in as guest. Yep. Yeah, whatever. Guest. Weird. Okay, in the meantime, while we're waiting for that to load, let's go ahead and have a look at some of the other cool stuff in here. So this guy right here seems to be a carrying case for the ROG phone and your accessories. This is something that they didn't have last time. And again, is the kind of thing that I'm probably not, no way. You have got to be kidding. Is this a fanny pack?
I think it's a side satchel.
A side satchel. So basically it's slightly above the fanny pack.
Like it goes around your shoulder.
All right, well, Brandon, you're gonna have to coach me on this. Anyway, this is the kind of stuff I normally wouldn't really cover in a review, so you guys are just gonna have the experience here with me. So, no, I think you're right. I think it goes on this way. All right, yep, there's a, no, it's configured for kids who play Fortnite. There we go.
It's about Minecraft.
Minecraft, sorry, Minecraft is back.
You gotta play on the phone.
I went full adult mode when I first tried Minecraft, man. I turned it on for about 20 minutes, and I was just like, I don't get it. And then, like, I couldn't figure out what the objective was. Okay, so yeah, that's how that goes on. I wouldn't describe it as amazing, but I guess it's fine if you need a dedicated pouch to carry around your ROG phone. So it's got a little nicely padded pocket in the front here. That nice soft material, so it shouldn't scratch anything or anything like that. It's got whatever this is. Maybe you could put your cooling module in there. The back? Oh, of course it does. ROG, you nerds. The thing about ASUS is like they wear their nerdiness completely on their sleeves. They're just like, yep, we are shamelessly, hilariously just gonna do this. RGB literally all the time. I'm surprised it doesn't have RGB lighting. All right, so then in here you've got just a bunch of different like pouches and stuff. I'm sure there's some kind of like plan that they have for how you're supposed to put stuff in here, but I find it pretty hard to believe that I would ever carry around something like this. Like I carry a backpack already anyway though, so maybe for people who don't already carry a backpack, this could make more sense. Yeah, put my water bottle in there. All right. Also making a return is the mobile desktop dock. So this has a little bit more relevance now that Google pulled the desktop mode out of Android 10 for the full release here. It is rumored that it's going to return, but for now it's not there. So this is a way that you can quickly and easily hook your phone up and use it in more like a desktop experience. Now this one feels a little bit more refined since last time around. Yeah, did they forget the cable again? Does this not have a charging cable? Hold on a second. Or power cable?
There's a weird USB one on the right side.
Yeah, the,
Micro B on the right side of the thing.
oh, sorry, which one?
Right side of the thing.
Oh, this. Yeah, they didn't include the, they did it again. Okay, so the source for this is a USB 3 Micro B. This is a connector that is basically a dead meme at this point. Is this just the same thing then? No, I think it's just the same one. Maybe it's just because we had a pre-prod one last time, because the construction of it feels a little bit better. So if you happen to have that stupid cable lying around, which took us a little while to find, then you've got DisplayPort. So you can have DisplayPort as a source so you can switch between your phone and your computer. Micro SD. You've got Gigabit Ethernet, 4 USB 3s, HDMI, or DisplayPort out, which I guess is pretty cool. And I was actually planning to show this on my Acer Predator monitor here. Sorry, guys. But I'm not going to because they didn't include that cable. And last time it took us like 20 minutes to find one of those cables around here because they suck. They all break, and we don't have any devices that use them anymore because all of those devices break. So it's kind of pointless. Here's the WiGig display dock. I think we should give this one another try. Last time it was like pretty cool, but it was a little bit blocky. I mean, it was blocky.
Yeah, but it was
There were some compression artifacts.
like a 70-inch screen.
So we're going to give that a shot, I think, probably in the full review. And then the last one that's really important for today is this, the Kunai Gamepad. I'm just going to pull the plastic off this so it's a little bit easier to see. Wow, I'm making such a mess of everything here. Now, last time around, I don't remember the gamepad having exceptionally impressive buttons. So I would like to see what kind of experience I can expect to have here. Yeah, this is not immediately obvious how this goes together. Oh, it is. It goes together exactly like, wow. Did they just completely rip off? I wasn't going to use the word rip off, Brandon. I was. We both used the word rip off because this is pretty 10 out of 10 ripped off. Yeah, I mean, in fairness, it's not like Nintendo's Joy-Con adapter doodad is a bad idea. All right, so let's have a look at what these things do. No motion control or anything. They're super light. So these are basically just wires that pass through to buttons. So you've got your ABXY. Actually, feel not bad. I wouldn't describe them as amazing. Like, it's not like, whoa, this like stands out. But I would even say they're good. Decent feeling analog stick. R1, R2, R4. You might ask, oh, well, where's R3 then? That is here. So you've, this one is a trigger as well. So you've actually, I'm going to have to double check this, but it looks like you've actually gotten like analog control on this one. Not this one, or this one though. So you've got 4 total buttons on the back here. That's pretty cool. And then over on the other side, you've just got your D-pad, your joystick, and then 4 more buttons over here. So you can squeeze these ones down here with your ring fingers or your pinkies if you're weird. Probably you'll use your ring fingers. It's actually kind of uncomfortable for me. It sits right in between my pinky and my ring finger. I have really small hands though, so probably for most people that won't be an issue. And then, Jake, are you able to grab me a USB Type-C to Type-C cable? What are the odds that we would have one of those lying around? Because this thing is in, actually, hold on a second. I can switch to wireless mode? Yeah, why don't you do that? So start function, select profile. I have no idea how to pair this. Please tell me this comes with instructions. Oh, it comes with lots of things. How interesting. Ah, yes, so this is for the other mode. Why don't we go ahead and enable that while we figure out if we can connect it this way wirelessly. So I guess this could be, wow, I have ended up with, you almost got me there. We have ended up with a lot of junk on this table. So I guess this is like, I'm sitting here like this with my controller, and then, thank you, Jake. Here, let's see if that works. All right, so here's our Type-C. Let's switch to USB mode. So it's got Bluetooth, wireless, and USB mode. We'll go ahead and plug this in, I guess, at the back. Sure. Okay. And, oh, that's weird. So it's controlling the bottom screen. Oh, firmware update. Why am I even surprised anymore at this point? Do not remove your phone from the current accessory while we are updating the firmware. Okay, so we'll talk about this one in a minute here. Let me just see if there's anything else that I'm forgetting still. No, I think that's basically it. We have unboxed everything, so we do legitimately just have to wait for the firmware to update. The mobile desktop dock has like a 6-pound manual. All right. Warning, do not remove your phone from the current accessory. Yes, we won't. We're all enjoying this. I'm just gonna move some of this stuff. There we go. That's a little more pleasant. Cool. Yep, wow, this must be a pretty substantial update. Oh, wow. I wonder if it is. Is this a little place to put your little rubber doohickey while you are using this? I don't actually think so. But it could, well, it does fit really perfectly. Do you think so, Jake?
Do I think what?
That this little thing here is like a spot to put the rubber piece to make sure you don't lose it.
It's kind of hard to see from here.
Is it? Oh, sorry. Right there. So it's also a little handle to pop it out of the dock.
I mean, what else would it be, right?
I don't know. It could just be a little handle to pop it out of the dock.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Yeah, we could go with that. All right, well, yeah, guys, realistically, I don't think we're going to wait around like 10 minutes for this stupid thing to do its thing. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the full review of the ROG Phone II. I'm actually super stoked to see how this thing handles prolonged gaming sessions. Up until now, the Nubia Red Magic 3 with its active cooler, like its fan-based cooler, is the only phone that I know of that has sort of mitigated thermal throttling by adding active cooling in this way, at least out of the current gen stuff that's available. And so this not only also has active cooling available with the external fan, but it's running faster hardware. So theoretically, this is the king of gaming phones. This video is brought to you guys by iFixit. The iFixit Essential Electronics Toolkit has all the essential bits in it and pieces for your disassembly, repair, and reassembly needs. I don't have my talking points in front of me, so what I can tell you guys is that iFixit's tools have lifetime warranties, although I think we've yet to actually break. I think I managed to break like one spudger at one point.
I broke a bit trying to take a brake rotor off my car.
You broke a bit trying to take a brake rotor off your car.
I got it off, though.
Oh, but you got it. Okay, so yeah, they're good stuff. Check them out at the link in the video description. They also have a great website with tons of guides for how to take apart and upgrade or repair your devices, whether it's replacing a dead battery or whatever the case may be. ifixit.com/whatever. It's linked down below. So thanks for watching, guys. See you over on WAN Show in a couple minutes. I guess I'll head over there.